So, Sin Seer, dude, tell us who you are and where you're from.
Well, my name is Trey. I'm the lead vocalist for the heavy metal duo Sin Seer, out of outside of Austin, Texas. We've been doing heavy music now for about 6 years. We've released 3 EPs, a couple of singles, a few collaborations. We've been filming quite a bit. We have a lot of video content on our YouTube page,
Oh,
youtube.com/sincere.
right.
So yeah, man, just been kind of hacking at it for the last few years, trying to make something out of this. So any chance we can get an interview going with anyone, we're down to do it. So
Awesome.
uh,
Okay,
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, thanks for having us on. Appreciate it.
Not a problem. I don't mind. And you know what? It's always nice to have people come into the stream because you never know if it's going to be good, bad, and different. And
Right.
actually, you might find some people come along and they go, "Wow, I really like that stuff," and go and buy stuff. So
Yeah.
the last interview
Yeah.
we did, one of the guys has already bought some of their music. You know what I mean? So happy days. So tell me, how did all of this come about? How did you get started?
Okay. Well, so I moved to San Marcos about 10 years ago, and at the time I was trying to start just get anybody together to jam. A few drummers I met up with, a couple of guitarists, and for whatever reason, man, it never clicked. Like I got to the point where it was just so frustrating to just try and find, I mean, forget like 2 or 3 people, just one person, to riff off of and
Yeah,
kind of just get something going. And me and Cameron, it's kind of funny because me and Cameron have known each other since high school. We've been really great friends. We've always gotten along. We have similar musical taste, and he's been doing guitar for about the same amount of time I've been doing like the whole vocal screaming stuff.
yeah. Okay.
I was in about like 3 different bands before I moved to San Marcos. None of them panned out, but I always tried to get him involved in whatever it was I was doing because I was always such a big fan of his guitar playing. And I don't know, man, just one day out of the blue, he sent me a song he put together. And within like 30 minutes, I tracked vocals to it. And that was July of 2015. And we have been writing music together ever since. So it's just this natural thing that evolved into what it became. But yeah, man, I mean, it's been a lot of fun. So we've been trying to, take it little by little and evolve as we go. But yeah, we're enjoying the journey for sure.
Awesome, awesome. So is musical talent out there a little bit sparse, or how is the music scene where you
Well, honestly, man, I can't really say a whole lot. Not even because of like the whole COVID protocols and
are?
everything,
Yeah, of
but
course, yeah.
we're just me and Cameron. We're both very like private dudes. We don't really go out. We don't really mingle too
Hey,
much with
I
anybody. So like,
feel you there, buddy.
so I mean, as far as the live scene goes, even if we were a full blown band out there doing it, I don't know if I would really be out there, and I don't know. I just don't really have any observations worth describing. I always feel bad because a lot of people ask us about that, and I mean, we're not really a live band per se, at least
Yeah,
not yet.
yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, even if like I said, even if we were, we don't really go out, so I couldn't give you a fair description of what the live scene's like. I can tell you though, from playing with some of because I actually play with another band
Yeah.
around here called Count Your Dead, really really great heavy metal band. I've been playing with those guys for a little while, and we played a few shows, since they kind of, let the stuff, go a little bit. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you this much: it's cool to see people come out just to check out live music. That is the one really cool
Yeah.
thing about it, that like you see, because before you would just be playing to the band members and their girlfriends or boyfriends. That's it,
I've been there myself. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But now you're seeing like more people just come out like, oh, you know what? It's Saturday night. Like, let's just go see what's up. Let's just go see. If
Yeah,
we don't
yeah,
like it,
absolutely.
we can. So you see, there's a little bit more of a resurgence in that aspect. But besides that, I mean, it's still pretty much the same, just as it always is. Bands out there just trying to hustle and grind and get any exposure that they can wherever they can. So
Yeah, well, one good thing that COVID has brought about is a lot more people have been collaborating online, talking online, because that's the only thing that we've been able to do is, speak to loved ones online. And actually, there's been a whole heap of developments in software for that kind of online collaboration.
Absolutely.
So actually, it makes perfectly good sense for musicians to absolutely hammer the online services that are out there to try and give them an advantage in the world before they even step foot on a stage. So yeah, absolutely. Why the hell not? Why the hell not? Where do you guys actually write and record your tracks?
See, that's another interesting dynamic about this group is that we've never actually been in the same place as far as like tracking and writing and everything. Everything kind of is presented as is. So Cameron writes all of the music himself. All the change ups, the structure, everything is all him. So he'll more or less send me these songs like already produced, and if I have any suggestions as far as, if something needs to be trimmed or if I need to, yeah, all that stuff, obviously. So once all of that is finished, then I will take it to my recording studio, which is about 2.5 hours away from here. I have a little home studio set up here, of course, like most people. Yeah. But I normally track all of my stuff for Sin Seer at 1090 Studios. That's my recording studio that I run with Jonathan Harbert, who's also the lead singer of Count Your Dead.
Sorry, did you say you run a recording studio?
Yes.
Ah, cool. Okay, we'll get back to that later. Keep going.
Awesome. But yeah, I mean, you'll see it too in all of our most of our video content. There's like a little watermark for 1090 Productions at the end. We kind of started that about 5 or 6 years ago, and it's finally starting to take flight. Hopefully, pretty soon we'll be officially open for business. We're still working on all of that stuff right now, but yeah, man, we've been really cutting our teeth as far as recording and all of that. But anyway, get back to the question. So I'll normally track my parts there, and then from there I'll mix and master, and then we'll decide as far as like the track listing goes, the artwork, more or less it's a 50-50 partnership, like all the way through, man. He in my opinion, he does the hardest thing. He writes the music, the music is the hook, like
That's right.
I mean, I can scream into a mic all I want, but unless there's some good tunes behind it, no one's going to care. So the fact that he's able to come up with these like really mesmerizing melodies, like I think that's what keeps me on my toes, and that's what makes me want to keep getting better. So it's kind of just like this 50-50 thing. Like he'll send me this music, I'll send it back to him.
Brilliant.
And honestly, that's really the only way we've got it to work, man, because we would get together. There's many times when we would get together and we would try to jam it out and come up with something, and nothing ever stuck. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you, because this has never happened with any other band or anybody else that I've ever been involved with. But for some reason, I cannot like work with this guy unless it's like in a completely different environment. I don't know what it is.
Wow, cool.
It just happens to work the way it is, man. Like 2018, when we put out our first EP, like 2 months later, we put out our next EP. By the end of the year, we had 3 EPs, we had 3 singles, we put out like 2 music videos. Like it was like the most productive year of music that I had ever been involved in. And it was just this energy, man. I don't know, I couldn't explain it, but
and that's all by
works.
Not seeing each other.
Yeah. It's weird.
Brilliant.
The only times we've seen each other in the last 3 or 4 years is just to get together for Sin Seer stuff, whether it's for promo photos or whether it's to film a video or whatever. Like I don't ever see him.
Oh,
like I talk to him all the time. Like we talk, we have like chat and Snapchat and Instant Messenger and all that stuff going on. Yeah. So I talk to him all the time, but I never see him unless it's to work with Sin Seer. So it's a really weird thing, but it works, man. So.
Well, strangely enough, it's interesting that that's how you are collaborating, because I had a question written down here earlier on. And it was, have you ever considered utilizing a online collaboration tool?
That is a very interesting question, because, actually, I guess in a way, it's already answered your question. The song Petty Theft was actually our that was our 3rd collaboration. So the very first collaboration that we did with another band over the internet, so to speak, was we did a song called Sure Stay, which I've also included. It was with this group called True the Gray. They were a really great metalcore band from Denver, Colorado. They disbanded, so unfortunately they're not together anymore. But right before they broke up, we wrote the song with them, and that was the very first one that we had done. And then in January of this year, we actually did a really, and this is really where like it plays into what you were just asking about, because we had at least, I think it was like 4 or 5 different bands all on one song. It's a crazy story actually. If you if you go to our 1090 Productions page, you can actually watch the music video for the song, and you can actually see the behind the scenes of how this song came to be. It was really fun, but long story short, we had about 4 or 5. I mean, I don't remember exactly because everyone's part of so many different projects. It's kind of hard to keep, keep up with how many.
I know what you mean. I've overextended myself a few times.
Right, yeah. So like we've been fortunate to be part of this network of bands called the indie underworld community.
Right.
And so it was a group of all these bands like Demon Scar, Carmilla, Adam Hyman, Ninth Revival, Ukrainium, Robot Gods. It was all these different projects all kind of coming together for this one song, and everyone kind of like threw in their own little thing. Drums came together pretty easily, the guitars, and then we kind of like broke down the lyrics, and then we all decided what was the song going to be called. It was like a whole like collaborative effort that unlike anything I had ever been a part of. I mean, I mean, it was tricky too because you're always worried about too many cooks in the kitchen and all of that. So you want to make sure that what you're doing is quality, and you're not just like, just throwing stuff at the wall to see what would stick. So we had to make sure that it worked, and it was just so much fun, man. So based off of that, whenever Spike from Honeybone Rush asked me to do a song with him, I jumped at it, and then lo and behold, there's Petty Theft. So it kind of like reignited this whole little like spark of creativity that I had lost for a little bit there. So like, not only am I working with bands that are in different genres, and I'm kind of stepping out of my comfort zone, but in a way it's challenging me to like sort of like be better. I got to get better at timing. I got to get better at my tuning and just making sure that all the little nuances really pop the way they're supposed to. So like it's keeping me on my toes. So awesome. we have more collaborations on the way. I don't want to like spoil any coming up. Yeah, we have about 3 more coming up. So hopefully before the year's up, we'll get those out there. But awesome. Yeah, man, it's exciting. It's very exciting. It's an exciting time to just write music and just be out there producing stuff.
Awesome. So first of all, Cloudicon, welcome to the stream, and Ace Hart, thank you for the follow. I do appreciate it. Absolutely, I appreciate everybody who comes into the chat, especially when I'm interviewing bands, because it means that bands get to see, people get to see new music, new people, new bands, and hopefully we can create a really good community. Right, so back to my next question. We are going to listen to Sure Stay next, but before I do that, so you're talking about collaboration, and you're talking about all of these bands getting together and all these people getting together. So when we look at a duo, I often think of, well, if someone's playing guitar and someone's playing the bass, who's doing the drums, who's doing the vocals? So are any of the drums on your tracks programmed, or is it all from collaborations? I'm asking that question because I'm a drummer.
No, all of the drums are programmed. We've actually developed a really interesting production system, just from all the years of me dabbling in music production, because I want to say it was back in 2013. I actually did go to school for a little bit for audio engineering, so it wasn't a full-fledged professional studio in my opinion, but I did actually learn the basics of miking, of mixing, editing, shortcuts, treating the room right, all of that stuff. So I got the general gist of it down. So from there on, I was kind of just learning as I went, and a lot of YouTube tutorials, a lot of different engineers. Glenn Fricker, I think, is one of the popular ones for YouTube for like metal musicians. I'm trying to think. Jordan. I'm sorry, I'm gonna butcher his last name.
No, go for it.
Jordan Valerie. I don't know how you say his last name. I'm sorry, but
okay.
He runs the Hardcore Music Studio.
Yep.
I've learned so many great things from this guy. So based off of all of these different suggestions and tips that I've learned over the years, I kind of just incorporated it into our own production. So Cameron actually programs the drums from scratch. So
Okay.
there is that bit of human element in there as far as like he kind of has to map out how he's going to play it. So in a way, we're already visualizing how the drummer would perform the parts.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
all of that comes into play, even as far as like going in there and adjusting certain velocities so that way certain parts hit harder and other parts hit softer to give it more of that human-like element. So we really do go to like extremes to really make this as human
Yeah, yeah.
as we can, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
He'll send me the sample tracks. I actually have this a drum trigger program,
Yeah.
so I'll blend the drums with the samples to sort of give like a whole different kind of tone to it.
Got you.
The same with the bass, the same with his guitar. Just a lot of really different, crazy cool things that I've learned along the way, and sort of just put it all into this little, this little tight little package.
Nice.
So that's kind of how we've evolved our sound into the way it has, because when we first started, I mean, we didn't really know a whole lot about mastering. We didn't really know a whole lot about the whole post-production
Yeah.
aspect of things. Certain sonic levels, like the way a music hums in your car or in
Mhm.
your earphones, like no one really notices that until they're not there. So
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so after a lot of trial and error and after a lot of, falling on your face and making crappy mixes and everything, after a while you kind of learn what not to do, and that kind of helps you get better and better. So
Yeah.
based
Yeah,
off
yeah,
all
yeah.
of that, that's how we've been able to create the Sin Seer sound as it is.
Awesome. Awesome. What is going to be going on for you guys in the future? What's the direction that you want to take now as a duo?
Well, for the remainder of the year, just put out more music. The 3 EPs that I mentioned earlier were actually this year we've re-released all of them. Well,
Okay.
we're in the process of working on the third one right now, but
Yeah.
special edition with bonus tracks and acoustic and just a couple of like other cool little things to go along with it. We've actually released them in physical format.
Nice.
So Echoes of
Good.
Eternity is actually available on the merch page right now, the CD. So anyone who wants to pick one up, or even if you just want to stream it, it doesn't matter. Just go ahead and check it out. We're in the middle of pressing Silent Convictions right now, which was our second EP.
Mhm.
That one will be available in a few weeks. So we'll let everyone know if anyone wants to check that out. We also, of course, have shirts for sale and all that. But yeah, man, as far as plans going forward, I mean, it's hard to say because a lot of what we've done is just riding on,
Mhm.
Intuition.
Yeah, yeah.
The fact that we haven't really planned anything out and it's gone as good as it has is it's just miraculous in its own way. So I think in a lot of ways we won't really look too far ahead. The only thing I can really say is I would love for us to hit the stage soon. So
Cool.
I would say sometime in hopefully 2022,
Yeah.
we'll be on that stage playing somewhere, and we'll be able to make sure that everyone can catch it. So even if you're not in the area, or even if you're on the other side of the world, if you still want to check us out live, you'll be able to check it out. So we'll set that up when
Awesome.
the time is right. But yeah,
Awesome.
man, just keep collaborating, keep evolving, keep
Yeah,
just
yeah.
keep getting better, man. Yeah, absolutely.
So in terms of getting out there live, I mean, you just said that if people will be able to get it even if they can't come to the show. Are you going to be streaming that? Because I've noticed that there's a lot of bands at the moment that actually stream on Twitch live shows.
Yeah, yeah,
So
absolutely.
is
Actually,
that?
I've thought a few of them too. I think Between the Baird and Me did
Mhm.
did a live stream not too long ago, and that was amazing. And I know Under Oath did a few of them. I don't know if it was on Twitch, but I know I know a lot of bands that have been
Yeah.
pushing that, and I think that's great, man. Especially like in this climate, whatever, man. If you're not sure but you still want to show support, it's a great way to do it. I mean, yes, obviously it's not the same as being right there
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
feeling that energy in front of you, but I mean, if like I said, if you're halfway across the world and you still want to show love in some way, it's a great way to do it. So
Absolutely.
I'm all for it. And yeah, we definitely will be approaching something like that for sure.
Awesome. Oh, that's great stuff. Absolutely. So when it comes to your production of music, then what kind of equipment are you using? Do you have big ass PCs? Do you have a full on mixing suite? What kind of equipment do you guys use to do what you do?
We have separate software. He's actually Cameron. I want to say he's actually kind of like built his hard drive from the ground up, so to speak. Yeah, so I want to say he mainly uses FL Studio for most of his production.
Okay.
He uses a lot of amp sims for his guitars.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know specifically which ones he uses. He changes up his software a lot, quite a bit. I've actually remained a little more consistent with mine. I kind of just stick to both of my DAWs that I've gotten the most out of, which is Pro Tools, of course, and Studio One, PreSonus.
Okay.
I love Studio One. Studio One is one of my favorite recording softwares to work with. It's also got the built-in mastering section as well. So
Okay,
once
right.
you're done mixing, you can get right into it, and it's just so amazing, man. As far as like other equipment goes, Audio Technica microphone, this one right here. I mean, I love Audio Technica headphones. I'm a big endorser of those guys. But yeah, I mean, other than that, man, I just like to really, I don't like to go too overboard. Keep it
Mhm.
simple. A couple of different preamps, a compressor, and just some really, really good sounding guitars, really great sounding mics.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it really just comes down to how well you can adjust your environment, really.
Of course. Yeah.
I mean, room treatment, acoustics, like all that stuff makes such a big difference. And like I said, it's not until you make enough crappy recordings that you realize that. But
I know
but
what you mean.
because of all the years, I'm past all that, and now we're finally at a point where we're really hitting our stride. So
Awesome. Good.
yeah, man, we're just really learning to utilize what we have, the resources that we have. It's like they say, it's the Indian, not the arrow. So I'm a firm believer in that.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. What do you think about the resurgence of vinyl these days?
I love vinyl, man. I think it's amazing that it's making a comeback the way it is. It's awesome, and it kind of gives me hope for the future too, as far as like CDs go, because
Mhm.
I am a big fan of vinyl. I do enjoy it, but I've always been a bigger fan of CDs, just because that was where my childhood, was
Yeah.
embedded. CDs, going to the CD store and just like looking around, and you never know what you would find. And I mean, I think it's just music stores in general, but you know what I mean. But um, I would love to do vinyl. It's from what I've been told, it's a very complex process. But
Mhm.
it's like I said, I mean, if there's enough of a demand for it, or even if just a couple of people keep asking for it, we'll
Yeah.
definitely consider it. I would love to do something like that. I, I,
Awesome.
I think at some point we probably will maybe do like a limited run of a certain single, or
Yeah.
maybe that's another way we can interact with the fans, like, hey, what song, or excuse me, what release would you love to see on vinyl? We can do something like that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's,
I mean,
it's always good inviting the fans along to do those kind of things as well, because
oh
you
yeah,
actually then you're giving them what they want, which is good.
absolutely, yeah.
So I was poking around your pages the other day, and bearing in mind I have got an awful memory, so I might be wrong. It might be a different band, but did I not see somewhere that you were fairly high on some Spotify lists?
We've been on a few. We've been on a couple. I think the only one right now, I don't know. I guess it just depends, but one that we've really been getting a lot of rotation on, and I really want to give him a shout out. France the Planet. He hosts like Metal Monday nights and stuff, and
Okay,
he's
right.
always putting us on. He actually put us on his Spotify playlist of
Right.
the top 20 metal tracks, or excuse me, top 21 metal tracks so far.
Okay.
I thought that was a really awesome and honorable thing. Like that was so cool of him to do. He didn't have to do that, but
Great.
yeah, man. I mean, it's kind of tricky with some of those, because you don't. Some of them are genuine and some of them aren't, so you don't really know. You kind
Yeah.
of have to
Yeah.
shoot your shot, so to speak. And sometimes they are legit, but they're not into your sound, or they're not particularly into what you're doing. So I mean, you
Yeah.
can't take it to heart. I mean, you kind of have to have a little bit of thick skin when it comes to that. But yeah, I mean, even whenever we do make it on a good one, we'll normally
Mhm.
only make it on there for like a week or two, and then they kind of lose interest, or
Right.
they
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
that we're not getting enough streams, whatever. So it's always
Yeah.
something. But, I mean, like I said, just the fact that we have a shot or a chance to just get out there, because you never know who it's gonna speak, who it's gonna reach out to,
Yeah.
if it's
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
speak to
Absolutely.
somebody, which is why we do stuff like this. So I mean,
Awesome.
yeah, we're always down to shoot for it.
Good, good. So, and so in terms of your music, then, what kind of feedback have you had from from various people?
I mean, I mean, it's a little bit of everything, I
Hmm.
guess. When we first started, actually, when we first started, that was kind of what I think kept us going because originally, when we put out the first EP, Echoes of Eternity, there really wasn't any plan after that to keep doing music. It was just like the reception was so like well received. Like
Good.
people that didn't even listen to metal or listen to that kind of music
Hmm.
enjoyed it, and that was very that was like that's a excuse me, that is a common thing that keeps coming up. We've had people say, I'm not even a fan of heavy metal, I'm not even a fan of hardcore music, but your music makes me actually want to listen to it. I'm like, wow, we
Oh,
did
that's
that?
good
Like,
then. Good,
dude,
good.
that's amazing. Yeah. So like little things like this have kind of kept us going along the way. And I mean, me and Cameron are always floored when someone goes out of the way to give us a shout out. And it
Yeah,
just
yeah,
makes us just want to work that harder and, stay, we stay hungry like that. So
yeah.
that's kind of what we shoot for. But yeah, but we've also had, I think we were on, I forgot what the name of the group was. They're an amazing promotional group. They were so nice to us. They're so great to us. But
Hmm.
it's a metal community, so you're gonna get a wide array of
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 course, yeah,
opinions.
yeah.
So whenever we put on one of our songs on there, and it was very mixed. Some people were cool,
Hmm.
some people trashed it, some people were just complete, you know, assholes about it,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's just like it's
That's
what
the
it
way it
is.
is. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you put your
Absolutely.
music out there to the public, you're open to ridicule, so
Of course.
you do what you do. So, but yeah, man. I mean, and it's crazy too because of you get so many great compliments, but it's always the one harsh comment that like eats at you. It's so weird. And but I think
Yeah, I know what you
I
mean. I started Metalhead Media a long time ago. We were filming unsigned bands around the Oxford area in the United Kingdom, and
Mhm.
we had a lot of hassle to begin with. I just don't give a shit. I just go, I don't care what you want. Some people like it, and if those people
Exactly,
like it, they'll keep watching it. And if people keep watching it, I'm going to keep producing it, even if it's just one person. You know what I mean?
exactly,
Um,
absolutely.
and it's a shame that we actually had to give up that side of the MHM because life changes. You know, shit happens.
Right.
Things move on, people move on, times move on, and I think getting back into something like this where I can give people like you that extra window to promote yourself, even if it is just one person, two people, three people watching, then I
Right.
hope that that goes a long way to helping you guys get to where you want to be in life,
Yeah, man. Absolutely. And I mean, I always look at these kind of things as a great opportunity, not only to like sort of sell the group and sell what we're doing, but also like it to me it just it's adding to what we're already building, in a
Yeah,
way. So even after the stream is over, you can still have people come and check this out on your YouTube channel.
yeah,
We can still have people still flock to this. So even if I mean, even as our names grow, we can still have this catalog, so that way we can always come back to it, and it's always like this moment in time kind of thing. And I always like, I don't know, I always just look at every interview or every opportunity like this as a way to like sort of just you know, keep that muscle going, and keep that just I don't know, just keep getting the word out there, man. I
yeah,
mean, I
yeah,
feel like we've been given all of this amazing opportunity with social media, and
hmm,
I mean it's really just a matter of applying yourself and really going the extra mile to get your name out there. I mean, it's really that's really what it comes down to. And you see how persistent some people are, and they're thriving.
yeah,
Not just on Twitch, but I mean on YouTube, on TikTok, all these platforms. And these people are getting over because they have this creative, innovative thing that they've been working on, and it just builds over time. So I never look at anything like this as a loss, even if some people have already drifted off. It's all good, man. I mean, I'm having a great time, and the fact that you were gracious enough to have us on here, man,
hey, no
I'm
problem,
grateful for
dude.
it. Thank you.
So,
Thank
so
you.
how is it? I mean, Metalhead Media have been going for quite some time, and it's been offline for a very long time
Mhm.
because we just weren't posting or doing anything. So how is it you came across my post in the first place?
Oh man, it's crazy. And I go through so many different uh suggested posts,
Right.
whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, whether it's whatever,
Hmm.
and I guess because of the algorithms. Um, certain promotional pages, certain certain communities, groups,
Right. Okay.
even bands, all these different suggestions pop up. So honestly, a lot of it is just me just randomly clicking and following. Even like this band right here on my shirt, Brain Cell.
Yeah.
I just randomly came across them one day on Instagram, just scrolling, and I was like, I'll just follow them. If they follow back, I'll check them out.
Nice.
And based off of that, I ended up hitting it off with the band. Me and Joe, the lead singer, are really great friends, and we built up this really strong bond between one another. And it's all just because of something random, as just pressing a button.
Yeah.
I honestly can't tell you where specifically I found it was just one of those things, rolling the dice. And then normally when it comes to these these kind of things, I'll just, like I said, I'll just shoot my shot. I'll send an email. Or if there's a post saying, hey, we're looking for bands, anyone shoot us a message, I'll shoot you a message. So like I kind of just sleep at the opportunity, man. So that's really just what it is. Like that's kind of how I kind of get lumped into anything, any podcast or any shit that I do. It's always because, hey, so and so referred you, or hey, we're looking for bands, send us a song.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. You've got to hammer these social media sites these days to get anywhere in life. So with this being the second interview I've done on this channel, what do you think of the format? What could be better, and what's bad about it?
I think it's a pretty solid setup, man. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't really know a whole lot of the Twitch world, so I'm probably not the best person to ask for suggestions. But yeah, I think what you have here is really great. I mean, you can see
you can't tell the truth.
Both people conversing. I mean, you're doing your thing. The audio's coming in great. You get to interact with people. Like I think it's pretty awesome, man. I mean, like I said, I don't really know a whole lot, so I think what you've got so far is pretty great. Okay.
So, what new music have you got coming up? What are you working on at the moment?
So at the moment, I'm actually working on a collaborative track with another band. We haven't said anything on it, so I don't want to give it away who it is, what we're doing. I will let you know that it should be ready within the next month or so. Well, at least at that point, we will start, marketing it, promoting it, and getting it out there. But after that, we have one more re-release, which will be the final EP that we put out in 2018. We'll be re-releasing that. That's going to come with some acoustic songs, some more acoustic songs that we've been kind of recreating, kind of like what we did on the re-release of Echoes of Eternity. So that should be out by the end of the year. And yeah, man, just I think we're gonna try and get in another single or two in between there, just to keep things, just to keep things up and consistent. You really gotta kind of keep hammering stuff in, just the way content's going out. And like that's kind of the weird thing about Spotify too, is like they kind of like they're pushing for you to keep putting singles out, keep throwing stuff out there. So if you want to stay in the mix, if you want to keep your algorithms going at a healthy level, you got to kind of keep producing your stuff. So we're definitely going to get a couple more singles out there before the year's over. So yeah, man, just more music, more merch as well. We got another t-shirt design that we're looking at right now.
So who does your artwork?
We just work with freelance designers. The last one, the one that did our Smoking Nun shirt, was actually a digital designer from honestly I can't remember. I think it might have been Malaysia. I think he was the one who designed it. It's just a freelance designer. I never actually got his name. I actually do have it listed on our Instagram profile, so if anyone wants to go check out some of his artwork and stuff, he's really great. But yeah, man, we like to work with freelance people, like as far as like people that are still like kind of on the same path that we are. Like even our lyric videos. Our lyric videos, we would go to Fiverr and we would just scope out certain video editors, guys that were just really hitting their stride, and like something that was kind of within our budget level, but something that that they could really work with us. So like we always try to give those kind of people opportunity. We've actually been hit up by a couple of engineers for for mixing and mastering. So
Nice.
as time goes on, we're definitely going to be considering that.
Good,
I
good.
think as time goes on, we're definitely going to keep evolving our production as far as we'll eventually lend, our music to
Yeah,
a mastering professional, someone that can actually take our sound to the next level. So
yeah.
always looking at, different ways to improve that stuff. So yeah, man,
Brilliant.
just trying to keep improving, man.
Nice, nice. So, with your studio on the cusp of opening and you actually starting to get people in there and doing stuff,
Mhm.
are you going to be scoping out anybody that goes in there to say, he would be quite good for our project, our collaboration? Are you going to do that?
Oh yeah. I I think the beautiful thing about stuff like that is that a lot of the time you don't even really have to suggest it, or you don't even have to necessarily like pick it out. It kind of just naturally develops as is. So I can definitely see that happening. Absolutely.
Good.
Um, I mean, it really just depends on who we bring in. It depends on how we gel with them as far as the chemistry goes. If we get along,
Yeah.
how do they perform? What is their work ethic like?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Do they have a certain passion for something? You kind of have to like look for these little different things, and if the vibe is right, then yeah, we'll definitely work together on something. Um,
Awesome. Would you come back and do this again?
Absolutely, man. This is so much fun, man. This has been one of the funnest interviews I've like as far as interactive interviews go. This is top notch.
Excellent. Good, good. Well, hopefully we can build on this and we can get a few more people in.
Yeah.
Dude, I would definitely love to have you back.
Oh,
And of course, if people do actually enjoy this kind of thing, then it's great. So, absolutely, thank you very much for coming on. I do appreciate the time.
yeah.
And hopefully, keep in contact. We'll do something again in the future. If you get some new music, maybe you'd like to showcase it on here. I don't know. It's up to you.
Got it, man. Oh yeah, we can definitely do that. Oh yeah, and
Awesome.
everyone who's asking questions and interacting in the chat and being so like supportive, like thank you all, man. You guys are so awesome. Like this, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous coming on because I didn't know what I was stepping into, but yeah, it's a great vibe here, man. Yeah, I will definitely do this. I'll definitely do this again. I'll be back for sure. Thank you again.
Awesome. I look forward to it. Dude, you have yourself a very, very good day. Thank you very much. And keep in contact and we'll talk again
Yeah,
soon.
absolutely. You do the same, man. Take
All right,
care.
dude. Thanks a lot.
No problem.
Cheers. Bye bye.
Cheers.